Russian President Vladimir Putin is shutting down the Russian collusion claims today, calling them, quote, hysteria. Putin also is shrugging off questions regarding secret meetings between Russian diplomats and members of Trump's campaign. The most recent claim being a secret meeting between then Senator Jeff Sessions and Russia's ambassador to the U.S., Sergei Kislyak. Joining me now to discuss, Kristen Soltis Anderson is back. Tom Fitton is back as well, joined by Gina Loudon as well. Gina, I got to tell you something. Vladimir Putin was on fire and the crowd loved him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he really was. And you don't usually see that level of passion out of him, Charles. You know, usually he's a little more subdued. This says, you know, it's kind of struck a nerve with him. He's tired of it. He probably has things that Russia would rather be handling, like, oh, I don't know, terror than this ridiculous conspiracy theory. And it's funny because, Charles, it's like they've gotten their hysteria, their conspiracy theories all confused now. They say, on the one hand, this was supposed to all be happening during the campaign, right? But then the accusations are all in December, well after the president was inaugurated. And so it proves they still have nothing, Charles. It's big nothing burger, to quote Hillary.
Yeah, Kristen, I think that was the main point of all of this is that, hey, there's a lot of speculation out there, unnamed sources, anonymous sources, and very few people have actually read reports or know the facts.
Sure, but what I can't fathom is why so many people who consider themselves patriots and who love America can't seem to help themselves but want to believe that Vladimir Putin is this great guy and he's so innocent. I frankly think that not just regarding whatever happened with the election, which I think should be fully investigated. We'll figure out the ins and outs of that as the investigations proceed. But the fact of the matter is Vladimir Putin comes out of the KGB. He's been known to be not such a great guy for a long time. Just 4 years ago, the Republican nominee for president said Russia was our biggest geopolitical ally, took a lot of flack for it. So I am perplexed at this love affair that so many people have with Putin and this desire to say, oh, well, gosh, he's so great. Look, there's nothing there because he said so. Why are we so trusting of a foreign leader?
I guess, Tom, the bottom line is people don't know what to trust because they've lost all faith in the media, which seems to have an axe to grind. And again, a lot of the story itself is based on, you know, anonymous sources and tips and memos and these sort of things. A lot of cloak and dagger, but, you know, no fire with this smoke so far.
Well, with respect to Mr. Putin, you can trust a communist to be a communist, so he's not really trustworthy one way or another. But when it comes down who's helped Putin? Who's helped Putin are the anonymous sources who have blown up our intelligence operations with respect to spying on him and figuring out what his people are doing and saying and talking about. Now we know what we're doing that, and who knows what has ended as a result of our intelligence gathering, as a result of these illegal leaks designed to take down President Trump. In order to do so, they're helping President Putin by making it harder for us to figure out what he's up to.
So, Gina, how confident are you then that we will ultimately get to the bottom of this? Listen, conventional wisdom says that Russia meddled in our elections, but it feels to me the larger legal issue revolves around the unmasking and then the leaking of names. And Tom's point also, making it harder to do any kind of intelligence surveillance of Vladimir Putin in the future.
I think that Russia has always and probably will always try and meddle in our elections, just like we meddle in other countries' elections. I'm not excusing it. I think it's horrible. It's just a fact. And I think it will continue to be a fact. But the first person that brought this up, let's remember, was Donald Trump himself as a candidate. He was concerned that there was meddling going on in the elections. It doesn't seem like anyone was very concerned about it then. But now that it's convenient for them to try to find a scapegoat on their devastating loss, they're saying something happened during the campaign when the only person talking about that possibly happening was Donald Trump. Remember that?
Yeah, of course, we all remember that, Kristen. And, you brought up this with Vladimir Putin, I think is a valid point. But does it say something about our country, though, when we've lost so much trust in the media that we start to say, hey, maybe the old KGB guy might be right?
Well, look, I think there is a lot of conspiracy theorizing happening on a lot of different sides of this question, because there are about 8,000 different facets to this. There's what did Russia do? There's what did or didn't Trump and his team do? There's what did or didn't the intelligence community do? So there are tons of different facets to this. And I think it's a shame that people have the ability to feel so distrustful of our institutions nowadays that they can get led astray by conspiracy theories, believing that absolutely no one who is in power today can do anything good and everybody's in the pocket of somebody else. It is very disheartening.
Well,
for sure.
yeah, we're in a disheartened period. Guys, you were fantastic. Have a great weekend. Now, here's Lou Dobbs.